Hello friends, welcome to class today. This is Amy Hager and I'm going to be doing yoga for the feet. So I have really flat feet and I have had plantar fasciitis. So I used to, back in the day, I used to run a lot of races. I did some marathons, triathlons. I used to be very, very into step aerobics. And so I would find myself on the step mat, kind of dancing around the mat doing crazy things like this, which was a lot of fun, but my feet did not like it. So, and of course on the step, I had it on the third riser and I was really competitive with it and I just had a blast. But anyways, I was not very good about stretching my feet. So actually in step aerobics was probably the first time I injured my feet. It just got to the point where my feet hurt so much that I just stopped doing step aerobics altogether. And then my feet healed up and then I started running and it was fine because I was in shoes and running shoes. But slowly over time with all running, my feet really started to hurt and I played around with changing shoes, trying to do the no support shoes, like the 5-finger shoes, trying to do extra cradled shoes, like with the arch support. I went to a podiatrist and I don't know, I would just wake up in the morning and my feet would just be burning. So I got into yoga because I was like, I just don't know if I want to be running all the time. And, I guess I had an aversion to yoga in the very beginning because I was like, it's not going to be enough stretch or enough of a workout. I was like very, type A. I wanted to burn a lot of calories and be very intense. But then I got into a hot room and I realized that yes, yoga can get very challenging, very fast. And actually through the process of my yoga practice, I healed my feet. So I don't have any more pain in my feet unless I do run a lot again. So let's begin by massaging our feet. So go ahead, lift your foot up and then place it in between your thigh and your calf. So just exposing the sole of your foot. And then take your thumbs into the arch of the foot and just begin to massage out the bottom of the feet. So you can play around with the different spots on your feet. And I invite you to go ahead and check out a reflexology diagram to see where you feel pain in your feet, to see where that is connected to what organ or what other part of the body. Another area that's really nice to hit up is the heel. So squeeze the heels. It's really taking some time to love on our feet. They do so much for us. It's really important for our grounding. And then maybe you can take your toes, flex them back, really finding the range of motion with our feet, with our toes, and then taking your toes and pointing them in. Let's go ahead, change sides. So lift up the left foot, put it onto your right thigh and your right calf, and go ahead and start to massage out the inside of your left foot. So pressing your thumbs into the arch of the foot. Taking time, if you want to lift your foot up, go ahead and do so. But yeah, just taking your time with your feet. I'm also pressing my fingers on the top of my foot here as well. So just get to explore your body, learn it. Learn where your aches and your pains are and create an awareness around that. Target my heel a little bit, squeezing the heel. And then let's go ahead, take your toes, flex the toes back. And then point your toes, so pressing the bottom of my hand into my toes. And then let's go ahead, come all the way down into a child's pose. So bring your knees apart and your feet together. Drop your hips all the way down to your heels. Rest your forehead down onto the mat and just breathe. Come into your breath, slow it down. Find your Ujjayi breath. Inhale for 3. Hold. Exhale for 3. Hold. Inhale for 3. Hold. Exhale for 3. Hold. Continue on your own. Begin to walk your hands all the way back to the knees. Find your blocks if you need blocks. And go ahead, lean back onto the blocks. Lift your right knee up off the floor. So you could either put your hands on the floor or on a block. Take your pick. So we're stretching out through the right ankle. Go ahead, drop your right foot down onto the floor. Inhale, lift the left knee off the ground. So stretching through the back or the top of the left ankle. Slowly lower the left knee down, and then inhale, lift both knees, come off the floor. Now this actually can get really intense. These are the beginning levels of this, but what you could end up doing is lifting your knees all the way off the floor, rounding the spine with the toes curled under. Slowly lower all the way back down to the floor. And let's go back to curling your toes under. Yeah, so keep the blocks by the side in case you need them. You could either have your hands in heart center or your hands down onto the blocks. But go ahead and lift your knees off the floor. Bring your hands into heart center. Holding out in a toes pose, so you gotta lean back and point your knees down towards the floor. And then as slow as you can, slowly tap your knees down to the floor. So it's forcing you to use a lot of control, a lot of strength in your feet and your muscles. And then if you can, lean back. See if you can pick your knees back off the floor. Let's do 2 more of those. Exhale with control, lean back. That will help you as you slowly drop your knees down towards the floor. Whew. And then if you can, so if you can't have your hands at heart center, just use your blocks, okay? Lift your knees up off the mat. Okay, let's go ahead and slowly drop your knees all the way down towards the floor. Straighten your arms out and engage the core tightly. Inhale, lift all the way up off of your heels. Exhale, drop your hips all the way down to the heels. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop it back. 1 more. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, slowly drop it back. Use blocks if you need to. You can use blocks the whole time. Inhale, lift it up. And then release your blocks down. Bring your arms all the way up overhead. Gaze up. Exhale, drop the right hand down to the floor. Look underneath the left arm, up towards the sky. Inhale, cartwheel your arms all the way up and over to the other side, gazing underneath the right bicep. And then release your arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, give yourself a big hug. So take your right arm over the left. Give yourself a big hug. Bring your forehead down to the floor. You could uncurl your toes. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, change the cross. So I have my left arm up overhead. Exhale, drop my head down towards the floor. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, come all the way down into a puppy dog position. So you're in all fours, and then begin to walk your hands all the way down to the floor, stretching through the shoulders, through the chest. Slither all the way down to your belly. Take your hands and place your hands in a prayer. So you're up onto your elbows, squeeze your inner thighs, inner ankles tight together, and go ahead, straighten your arms. Press the pinky edges of your hands down into the floor and inhale, lift your legs up off the mat. See if you can get your thighs up just a little bit more, and then slowly come on down. Bring your hands back by the chest and then curl the toes under, push back into a tabletop position. Begin to cat and cow the spine. Inhale, cow face. Exhale, cat posture. Inhale, cow face. So lift your heart. Exhale, cat posture. Hiding the heart, bringing your chin into your chest. And then come into the heart center. Inhale, lift your left leg and your right arm. Point your thumb towards the sky. Engage the core. Exhale, bring your elbow into your knee. You've got 3. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lengthen. Last one. Inhale, lengthen. Straighten or lower your arm and your leg down to the floor. Other side. Inhale, lift left arm and the right leg. Kick your heel towards the back of the room. Roll the right hip down towards the ground. Exhale, bring your elbow to your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Last one, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen. Slowly lower your hand and your knee down towards the floor. Find your downward facing dog. Curl the toes under, lift the hips high to the sky. Pedal the feet out left and right, left and right. Inhale, come up high on the tippy toes, as high as you can go. Exhale, drop your heels down to the floor. Inhale, come up high on the toes. Exhale, drop the heels down. Inhale, come up high on the tippy toes. Exhale, drop the heels down. Shift it forward, find your plank position. Hover in the plank. Bring your shoulders directly over the wrists. Engage the core. Contract your quadriceps. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift your hips high to the sky. Come up high on your tippy toes. Bend your knees. Lift between your hands. Walk or jump to the top of the mat. Find your forward fold. Bend your elbows. Place your hands onto your elbows. And then soften your knees as you lift your hips up tall towards the sky. Let your head hang heavy down towards the floor. Inhale, find the half lift. Flat back. Take your hands palm face down towards the back of the room. Squeeze the triceps together. Inhale, come up high on the tippy toes. So this is diver's position. Imagine you're about to jump into a beautiful swimming pool. You could have soft knees here if you need to. And then inhale with a nice flat back. See if you could slowly come all the way up into a standing position. Keep your tippy toes lifted. Lift your heels up off the floor. Hold it there. Exhale, bring your hands into heart center. Inhale, bring your arms out and up overhead. Interlace all 10 fingers. Release the index finger. Take your left foot behind the right. And then reach your arms all the way up and over to the right side of the room. Stretch out the whole left side ribs. Use your right hand to pull the left arm even more to the right side of the room. Maybe even gaze underneath the left bicep. Inhale, come back to the center. Other side, take your right foot behind the left. Bend the left knee. And fan out the right side ribs. Roll the right shoulder open as you gaze up towards the sky. Breathe. Slowly bring your right foot back into the center. Inhale, lift your arms up tall towards the sky. Push your hips forward, lift your heart up and back. Exhale, hinge at the hips, swan dive all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, upward facing dog. Or inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back. Find your plank position. Exhale, knees, chin, and chest all the way down to the floor. So drop your knees, chest, chin. Have your hands down by your side. And then slither all the way back down to your belly. Come back up onto your elbows. Palms touch, cross just the thumbs. And then press your pinky edges of the hands into the floor to lift you a little bit higher. Squeeze your legs tight together. Maybe you can lift your thighs up off the ground as well. So go ahead, give it a try. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on down. Bring your hands back by the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Inhale, push back to a tabletop, or inhale, push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal the feet left and right, left and right. Inhale, come up high on the tippy toes, bend your knees, look between your hands, and walk or jump between the hands. Find forward fold. Let your head go heavy. Your hands can sweep on the floor if you want. Now bend your knees a lot. Bring your fingertips to touch the floor. So you have the fingertips just grazing the ground, driving the booty back. Keep pushing your shins back. And then inhale, lift, chair pose. Come up high on the tippy toes. Engage your feet. Exhale, slowly drop your hands to touch the floor. Inhale, lift, chair pose. Lifting your heart. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, drop your hands down to graze the floor. Let's do one more. Inhale, lift, chair pose. Hold it here. Exhale, fold, swan dive all the way down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Go ahead and step your left foot back down towards the floor. Drop the left knee all the way down. Now if you need your blocks, this is a good place for them. So I have my blocks on either side of me. You can work on pushing your heart up and back. Make sure your knee is over the ankle. So if your knee is shooting out in front of the ankle, just take a wider stance so that your knee is always over the ankle. It'll help to protect your joints. Okay, you could use your left thumb underneath the left glute and roll your hip down towards the floor, pushing your hips down towards the ground, and then lifting your heart up and back. Take your hands, push them onto the knee, lifting your heart. Maybe lift your left arm up towards the sky. Maybe the right one meets it. Release your hands down by your side. Shift it back, half split. So use your blocks if you need them. Inhale, lift through your heart. Exhale, fold over the right leg. Curl the left toes under and drop your hips all the way back down to the hip. Take your left hand to the outside of the left foot and then bend your left bicep, pulling your chest down to your thigh a little bit more. Slowly come on up. Point your right toe a lot. So point it as much as you can. You could have your hands on blocks or down on the floor. But inhale, lift your right leg up off the floor. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lean forward. Find your Anjaneyasana again. Curl the left toes under and come up high on your blocks. So we're going to press down into the blocks a lot. Lift the left knee up off the floor. So your left toes are curled under, pointing the left toe. And then you can come up high in your fingertips or lift your arms up towards the sky. Really press your right heel down into the floor. Strong moment. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. With control, go as slow as you can all the way back down to the floor, dropping the left knee. Woo. Curl the left toes under and then go ahead, step the left foot back at the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, step the right foot back this time. Drop the right knee down to the floor. Use blocks if you need them, or you could also just have your hands on the floor. Take your pick. Make sure that the knee is over the ankle. Take your right thumb, maybe put it underneath the right glute, rolling the right hip down towards the floor. So you're pressing your thumb into the hamstring. Push your hands into the knee. If you feel good, you can lift one hand. Maybe you lift both, lifting your heart up towards the sky. And then slowly release your hands down to the floor. Half split, shift it back. Straighten the left leg, flex the left toes up towards the sky. Curl the right toes under and then drop your hips all the way back to the floor or to your heels. And then take your right hand to the outside of the left foot And go ahead, bend your right elbow, bringing your chest closer to the thigh. Breathe. Slowly come on up, bringing your hip over your knee. Press your hands into your block a lot. Point your right toe. Inhale, lift the left, point your left toe, and inhale, lift your left foot up off the floor. See if you can hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly shift forward. Curl the right toes under. And then if you want to use your blocks, play around with that. Otherwise, come up high on the fingertips. Lift your right knee up off the mat. Come up high on the fingertips of the hands. Press the top of the foot down into the floor. Inhale, lift your arms up towards the sky. So you have a strong moment here. Press the left heel down into the floor. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow and controlled. Come all the way down to the floor. Bring your hands down to frame the foot. Curl the right toes under. Lift the right knee off the mat and slowly step all the way to the top of the mat. Forward fold. You can put your hands on the elbows and then just gently sway, rocking side to side. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Bring the arms all the way out and up overhead. Gaze up. Exhale, bring your hands in the heart center. Inhale, bring the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift with the flat back. Draw your arms to the back of the room, palm face down. Squeeze your pinkies together to engage the triceps. Release the heels off the floor, tippy toes. Diver's position. So have a nice flat back, lift through your heart. And then with control, slowly come all the way up into a standing position. Arms reach up tall overhead. Exhale, bring your hands in the heart center. Release the heels down to the floor. Woo. Inhale, lift, arms go up. Exhale, swan dive down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, plant your hands, step it back, high plank position. Inhale, exhale, knees, chin and chest, all the way down to the floor. Slither all the way down to the belly. Come up high onto the elbows, palms together, pinkies touch. Press the blades of your pinkies into the floor. Inhale, lift your heart, lift your feet up off the floor. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on down. Bring your hands by either side, curl the toes under, bend the knees, push back into a tabletop or push up. Exhale into your downward facing dog, hips go high to the sky. Let your head hang heavy down towards the ground. Inhale, lift your right leg up tall towards the sky. Exhale, step the foot between the hands. Runner's lunge. So stay down on the runner's lunge and then inhale, shift forward, come up high on the left tippy toe. So go all the way onto the tippy toe, leaning forward, pressing all your weight into the right foot. Exhale, curl the left toes under. Straighten your right leg. Inhale, runner's lunge. Melt into the right knee. Come up high on the left tippy toes, shift it forward. So you have most of your weight into the right leg. And then exhale, curl the toes under, straighten your right leg. Let's do one more. Bend the right knee, runner's lunge. Shift the weight forward into the right leg. Come up high on the left tippy toes. And then slowly come back into that runner's lunge. Bring your right hand on the inside of the right foot. Drop the left heel down to the floor. Inhale, lift the left hand all the way up towards the sky. Take your left hand, wrap it behind the back body. Find the right hip crease. Or you have the option of taking your right hand underneath and find the bind. Roll the left shoulder up towards the sky. Melt into the right leg, bringing your thigh parallel to the floor. Gaze down at the floor. Bring your hands on the inside of the right foot. Drop the left knee all the way down to the floor for lizard position. You can drop down to your elbows if you'd like. Find a comfortable position or nice edge. Roll onto the outside edge of the right foot. You can open your knee. You can also use your hand to push the knee open if you'd like as well. Just find the breath. Slowly walk your hands back. Use blocks if you need to. And then come up high on the left thigh bone. So try to get off the knee. We want to get onto the thigh bone. Go ahead, reach your right hand around, catch the left foot. Now you can try to get both hands around. So you have both hands around the ankle, lift through your heart, kick your foot into your hands. Maybe gaze up towards the ceiling just a little bit. And then gently release. Whew. Slowly come on out of that. Curl the left toes under. Bring your hands to the floor. And then go ahead, bring your right foot back. Let's find a flow. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, knees, chin and chest all the way down to the floor. Bring your biceps into gaze. Graze the side ribs. Snake all the way down to the floor. Come up high on your elbows. Press the blades of your hands into the floor as you cross your thumbs. Inhale, lift your elbows off the ground. Lift your thighs off the ground. Squeeze your legs together. You got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on down. Bring your hands by your shoulders. Curl the toes under. Inhale, push up into a tabletop or just push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips high to the sky. Let's move into the other side. Inhale, lift left leg high. Exhale, bend the knee, step the foot between the hands, runner's lunge. Come up high on the fingertips. Inhale, shift the weight forward, come up high on the right tippy toes. Exhale, straighten the left leg. Bring your forehead to your knee, introverted position. Inhale, shift it forward, extroverted position. Come up high on the right tippy toes, lean forward. Yeah, so we're up high on those right toes. Exhale, forehead to knee. Straighten the left leg. Inhale, shift it forward. Come up high on the right tippy toes. Exhale, forehead to knee. Round the spine. Last one. Inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, drop it back. Bring your left hand into the inside of the left foot. Drop your right hand down onto the floor. Inhale, lift the left hand up to the sky. Gaze up at the back of the right hand. And then take your right hand behind the back body. Find the left hip crease. If you could find the bind, go for it. Maybe take your left hand underneath the body, interlace, or you just hook your fingers. And then while you're in the bind, see if you can lift your left rib cage off the left thigh. So you want to keep that lifted motion. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Deep inhale. Exhale. And then slowly release your hands to the inside of the left foot. Come up high in the right tippy toes. Bend the right knee all the way down to the floor, lizard position. You could come all the way down to your elbows. You could stay high or come to your elbows. Open up to the blade of the left foot. So you could use your hand to push the hip away from you. Really stretching through the hip. And then begin to walk your hands back. And you could use them a block if you'd like. So walk your hands to a block if you'd like. Bend the right foot. Reach your right hand around. Catch the right foot. Maybe you're able to get the left hand around as well. Lift your heart. Kick your foot into the hand. So you got to be really subtle with this. Gently press your right foot away. Roll the right shoulders open. Lean forward. And then gently release. Drop your hands back to the blocks. Curl the right toes under. Move the blocks out of the way. Inhale, lift the right leg off the floor. Go ahead, step the left foot back. Inhale, plank position. Exhale, knees, chin and chest all the way down to the floor. Inhale, find your upward facing dog. So curl the toes under this time. Lift the thighs all the way off the mat. Bring your hands over the shoulders. So it's just the tops of the feet and the hands down onto the floor. Exhale, curl the toes under, find your downward facing dog. Lift the hips high to the sky. Bend your knees all the way down to the floor, find child's pose. Bring your forehead down. Begin to walk your hands back, curl the toes under. We're going to do the same move that we did at the beginning of class. So we have our toes curled under. This is stretching through the plantar fasciitis, through the Achilles. You can have your hands in heart center or on the block, but with control, slowly lean back, lift your knees off the floor. Bring your hands in the heart center if you have the ability. Otherwise, use blocks, and it might be a little wobbly. That's okay. Lean back. See if you can slowly bring your knees all the way down to the floor. So again, you can do the whole sequence with your hands on blocks. Inhale, lift the knees up. Exhale, drop the knees down. Let's see if we could do one more. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, drop it down. Put your hands onto your thighs, engage your core a lot. Inhale, lift the glutes off the thigh. Exhale, bring your hips back to your heels. And have a nice straight torso. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, glide your hips back to your heels. Inhale, strong core, lift up. Exhale, drop the hips down to the heels. Inhale, lift up. Reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, give yourself a big hug. Right arm goes under the left. Drop it down to a child's pose. Forehead to the floor. Inhale, lift your arms back up towards the sky. Inhale, reach your arms tall. Exhale, left arm goes under. Give yourself a big hug. Drop your head down towards the floor. Inhale, reach your arms up tall. This time, let's find a back bend. So take your right arm, curl or swing it around to the right heel and reach your left arm up and overhead. Maybe open up through the chest. Cut the air with your hands, so cartwheel them all the way up and over to the other side. Drop your left hand to the left heel. Reach your right arm up and over. Maybe you open the right shoulder open. Inhale, come all the way up and over. Other side. Reach your left arm back behind you. Inhale, lift. Other side. Drop your left hand down. Inhale, lift your right arm up and over. And then slowly come back. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, melt your hands all the way down to the floor. Come into your puppy dog position. So bring your hips directly over your knees. Uncurl the toes. Just in the odd case you feel it. And then let's find downward facing dog one more time. Curl the toes under. Whew. Inhale, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bring your knee into your nose. Drop the left heel down onto the floor. Cartwheel your arms open. So warrior two position. Bend the right knee a lot, bringing the right thigh parallel to the floor. Push the knee back towards the pinky edge of the toe and extend your arms long in opposition. Now, see if you can come up high in the right tippy toes. Lift the right hand up tall towards the sky and then find the reverse warrior. Fan out the right side ribs as you let the left hand fall down the leg. And then inhale back into your warrior two position. See if you could straighten the right leg and reach your arms up overhead, flying warrior. Exhale, bend the knee. See if you can keep the heel lifted the whole time. Inhale, straighten the leg, arm up overhead. Exhale, bend the knee. Let's see if we could go for one more. Inhale, lift, arm up overhead. Exhale, bend the knee. Drop your right heel down to the floor. Cartwheel the left hand down onto the ground. Come up high on the left tippy toes. Revolve side angle. Gaze all the way up towards the right hand. And then slowly lower the right hand down to the floor. Step it back. Find your plank pose. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chin, and chest down to the floor. Move right into your upward facing dog. Slither all the way forward. tops of the feet and your hands down on the floor. Lift the thighs up, lift your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog, curl the toes under. Inhale, lift your left leg high. Exhale, step the foot between your hands, warrior two. Drop your right heel down onto the floor. Cartwheel your arms open. Extend your arms long in opposition. Lift your left heel off the floor. So tippy toes on the left toe. Lift your left palm up towards the ceiling, reverse warrior. Drop your right hand down the leg. Cartwheel the left arm all the way up and overhead. Gaze underneath the left armpit, up towards the sky, and lift the left ribs all the way up. Melt into the left knee a little bit more. And then find the warrior two. See if you can leave the heel lifted. Go ahead, straighten the leg, bring your arms up overhead, flying warrior. Exhale, bend the knee, extend the arms in opposition. Inhale, fly the warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Keep the heel lifted. Last one. Inhale, lift. Straighten the leg, arms up overhead. Exhale, warrior two position. Gaze over the left middle finger. And then drop the left heel down onto the floor. Cartwheel your right hand down to the ground. Ribs evolve side angle. Lift the right heel off the ground and gaze up towards the left hand. Drop your left hand down towards the floor. Step it back. Let's take a flow. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Find the downward facing dog. Now slowly walk your hands all the way back to the back of the mat, forward fold. And slowly roll all the way up towards the top of the mat. Working on some single leg balances. So go ahead, put all the weight in your left leg and lift the right leg up. Put your hands underneath the right knee and then lift your heart up towards the sky. Roll the shoulders back, finding a back bend. So it's a little baby back bend. And then gently release. Have your hand on your knee, otherwise bend your knee a lot and catch the big toe with your index finger and your middle finger, and go ahead, kick your heel forward. See if you can open your leg out to the side. So again, the backup plan is to bend the knee, hand on the knee. Okay, stay lifted through your chest, roll the shoulders down, press the left big toe down into the floor. And then slowly come back to the center. See if you can hold the leg up there for 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee a lot. Have your right palm up towards the sky. Reach around, catch the inside of the right foot. Lift the left arm up tall towards the sky. Go ahead, kick and reach. Standing bow pulling pose. To find a spot on the wall to focus on, roll the right hip down towards the floor. Relax the right shoulder back. Whew. If you fall, just come back into it. It's part of the practice. You're going to fall in this pose 1,000,000 times. And then slowly come back out of it, especially because the left foot might be burning by now. See if you could come into a tree pose. Bring your right foot to the inner left thigh. Inhale, hands in the heart center. You can do it. Bring your arms all the way up to the sky. Open up the right arm to the back, left arm to the front. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, lift. Left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, lift. And then slowly come down to the floor. Whew. You might be feeling it in the feet by now. I know I am. Go ahead, press all the weight into the right foot. Inhale, lift the left thigh up. Put your fingers, interlace all 10 fingers underneath the left knee. Now find the back bend, lift through the heart. Relax the shoulders down and back. Go ahead, gaze forward. You could put one hand on your right hand on the right hip. Maybe you reach in the inside of the left leg and take your yogi peace fingers around the left big toe. Go ahead, kick your left heel forward towards the front of the room. Lift through the chest. So you can have your hand on a bent knee if you need to. And just kick the heel forward as much as you can. It doesn't matter if your leg straightens. We'll get there one day. Go ahead and open up your leg out to the side of the room. Maybe you bring your right arm out to the side. So it does help to find a spot on the wall to look at. Go ahead, open your leg out to the side. Lift through the heart. And then slowly come back to the center. Put your right hand onto the hip. Bring your left hand to the hip, hold it there for 3, 2, 1. Glide the left foot back, hover the left foot up off the floor. We have standing bow pulling pose. Bend the knee, palm face up, catch the inside of the left foot. Reach your right arm up tall towards the sky. Inhale, lift, and kick and reach. And you're starting, the kick is what drives the hinge and reach at the same time. So the kick and the reach, those two counter poses, is what is going to help you with your balance. Keep your fingertips no lower than your eyebrows. Keep kicking your foot into the hand, hand into the foot. Find the softness in your breath. And then slowly come on up. Find our tree pose. So you can have your foot on your ankle or on the inner thigh. You just don't want to have it on a knee joint. So if you need to, go ahead and reach down, catch the foot on the inner thigh, go for it. Bring your hands in the heart center for the tree. Inhale, lift your arms up tall towards the sky. Go ahead, split your arms, scissor them wide like splits. Right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, lift them up tall. 2 more, you can do it. Exhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. Inhale, lift it up. Last one. Right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, lift it up. Left arm forward, right arm back. And up. Slowly come on down to the floor. Woo! Shake the feet out a couple of times. Go ahead, find your chair pose. Bend the knees, lift the heart, pull the shins back. Tuck the tailbone under. Come up high in your tippy toes. With control, slowly come on down. Whew. Drop your hands into heart center. See if you can drop down to the heels. So you could use blocks if you need to, but see if you can lean your hands forward, dropping down to the heels. Inhale, come up into the toes pose. Exhale, drop the hips to the heels. And drop your heels to the floor. Inhale, come on back. Toe pose. Exhale, drop the heels, lean forward. Inhale, toes pose. Let's get 2 more. Exhale, drop the heels, lean forward. Inhale, come on back. You got 1 more. Drop the heels, lean forward. Inhale, come back. See if you can lower your knees to the floor as slow as you can. So lean back. Try to use some control. And then come all the way down to the floor. Woo! Let's swing our legs all the way out front. And let's find low boat. So we're going to hollow out the core. Reach your toes towards the front of the room. Press your low back down into the ground. And then let's crisscross here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your arms up overhead. And then slowly lower down to the floor. Now, when you bring your arms up overhead, if your low back comes off the ground, don't bring your arms all the way up overhead then. Just come out of it a little bit to keep the low back down onto the floor. So let's go ahead, reach your hands forward, lift your feet, press the low back down into the floor, and then do it again. Let's bring your arms up overhead. So as soon as your low back comes off the floor, stop raising your arms up overhead. But if you are able to press the low back down into the floor, go ahead, raise your arms up overhead. And then let's go ahead, crisscross our legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on down. Whew. Breathe. You got one more. Inhale, lean forward, reach your hands towards your feet, lift your feet up off the floor, press the low back down into the ground. See if you can bring your arms all the way up overhead, press the low back down into the floor. You can do it. And you got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down to the floor. Ah, yay. That was really challenging, actually. Let's bring our knees into the chest, but you guys did it. So great job, you guys. Let's go ahead, rock forward and bring your feet straight out in front of you. Find Dandasana. So sit up tall, press your hands down into the floor, reach your arms up overhead, exhale, fold all the way down towards the floor. And then slowly come on up. Let's go ahead and come into a half of a lotus position. So take your right foot, lift it up all the way on top of the left hip. And then drop your knee down towards the floor, your right knee down towards the ground. So this really stretches out the right ankle. Inhale, lift your arms up tall. Exhale, fold over the left leg. And you can keep pressing the right knee closer towards the floor. Lotus position is always a challenge for me. And just soften and relax. And then gently come on up. You could bend your left knee and see if you could bring your heel closer to your glute. So if you want, really, you could take your right foot, adjust it again, get it really high up on the left hip, and then bend the left knee. Maybe you stop here. So I'll face you guys a little bit. If you can, take your left arm in front of you and reach it forward. This can be your stopping point. So take your pick. If you're able to go forward more, take your left hand in front of the left shin, bend the elbow, point the thumb towards the floor. Then maybe you reach your right hand around behind you. Find the bind. Go ahead and you can work on sitting up tall, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. Press your right knee down towards the floor. And then slowly come on out of it. Whew. We could windshield wiper the legs, left and right, left and right. And let's try the other side. So you can stop at any point, you guys. This is your practice. You don't have to do everything. Go ahead, bring your left ankle up high onto the right hip crease. And then reach your arms up tall towards the sky. Exhale, fold over the right leg. And then slowly come on out of it. Bend the right knee a lot. Roll the left knee down towards the floor. So I'll face you. You're rolling the left thigh down towards the ground. Reach your right arm in between the legs. So you can find a stopping point at any point. Maybe you're stopping here already. If you can go further, if you want to try, go ahead. Reach your hand all the way to the front. Bring your hand in front of the right shin. Point your thumb down. Bend the elbow. Maybe reach your left hand behind the back, find the bind, and once you do, working on sitting up tall. So you can look over your left shoulder, finding the twist. Whew. And then gently release. And then we'll find our bound angle. So we have our feet together, knees wide apart. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, press your elbows onto the knees and fold. And then slowly come on up. Let's roll all the way down onto our backs. So roll down onto your back, bend the right knee, inhale, lift, or bend the left knee, lift your right leg up towards the sky. Put your hands underneath the right calf, and then bring your ankle closer to your forehead. Find the inner smile. You guys are almost there. Home run. Go ahead and circle your ankle a couple of times here. So you could go clockwise and then go counterclockwise. Just feeling the full range of motion in the ankle, flexing the foot and pointing the foot. Bend your right knee, put it on top of the left, and lift the left leg off the floor. Put your hands behind the left hamstring or onto the left shin. Take your pick. You can work on pushing the right knee away from you. And let's go ahead and change legs. Go ahead, release your feet down to the floor. And then inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Put your hands, interlace them behind the left calf as you pull your toes back. Go ahead and find some ankle circles here. So circle the ankles to the right and to the left. You can point and flex your foot. And then go ahead, bend the left knee, put the left ankle on top of the right ankle, or on top of the right knee, and go ahead, lift your right leg off the floor. You can put your hands behind the right hamstring or on top of the right shin, and go ahead, find your reclined pigeon position. And then slowly lower your legs down to the floor. You can windshield wiper the legs, left and right, left and right. You guys are almost there. Go ahead, lift your hips all the way over to the left side of the mat. This will help you align your spine so that your shoulders are directly underneath your hips. And then go ahead, drop your knees off to the right. And I have my hands cactused out. So you can work on pressing your left shoulder down into the floor. And then find the softness in the pose. Breathe. So your body thanks you. This might have been challenging, but it's so good to be working the feet. So often our feet are in our shoes and we're developing atrophy because our foot is cradled all day long and we're not using all of the muscles in our feet, and that's what causes so much of the pain. So a huge part of healing our feet is through working the whole range of motion that we have in our foot. So go ahead, come back up. Swing your hips all the way over to the right side of the mat this time, and then drop your knees off to the left. Yeah, so part of healing the feet is strengthening the feet, stretching the feet, so moving it in all different directions, and then finding that grounding through our single leg balancing positions. Working with your feet is all first chakra work. Finding grounding, developing your roots all the way deep within the earth. We build all of our postures from our feet up. If our feet are sore or weak, then the whole practice will be a little less than what it can be. Slowly come all the way back onto your backs. Lift your hips just a little bit to neutralize the spine. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead, point your toes. Give it a nice big stretch. See if you could grow a little bit taller. And then exhale all the way down into your final savasana. Resting your arms by your side, palm face up, let your feet flop open. Your body thanks you. Find that inner smile. Let's take a deep breath together. Exhale all the air out of the body. Deep inhale through the nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale, HA. You guys did it. Congratulate yourselves. You're awesome. Let's find some movement in our fingers and our toes. Inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Stretch and grow the spine. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourselves a big hug. Roll over to one side of the mat. And slowly push yourself up into a nice, easy seat. Hands in the heart center. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you've made it this far and you watched the whole movie, I just want to tell you thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Please like, share, subscribe, click the bell for the notifications so I can help grow the channel. And I hope you liked it. If you have any requests, I'm happy to fulfill them. Please put it in the comments, anything that you would like to see out of your yoga practice. And yeah, if you want to continue with your meditation, with your savasana, please go ahead and do so. What I have done is I started to journal after I meditate. So I'll stay down in a meditation at least 15 minutes, just silent, just thinking about, well, just not thinking, but becoming aware of what my thoughts are. So creating an awareness of what my thoughts are. And then I started an online journal called Day One. So it's a way that you can put, little pictures or sound clips or videos or anything like that, but it's on my Mac, and it will sync up with my phone and with all my Apple devices. And it's called Day One, and it's a way for me to have an online journal that's private through my password, and I get to take it everywhere I go, and it just, I could leave like even a little voice message on my journal for that day as well. And then later on, what it allows me to do is to do a search on certain words, what keeps coming up for me, and really just trying to evaluate what's going on in here. And what do I need to do? What is being told to me, and how can I become a better listener through my awareness? So thank you so much for coming and doing practice with me today. This is Amy Hager. Much love, light, and joy, you guys. Self-healing inspiration. Namaste.